Hey, all right, everybody. How's it going? Now, every time I look at the internet and stuff about electric cars, the Telegraph always pops up with something negative about EVs. Okay? Now, it makes you wonder where the money's coming from. I'm not making any accusations, I'm just saying, where does the money come from? Does anybody know where the money comes from for the Telegraph? Put it in the comment section. So if you go onto the internet and you type in electric cars and the Telegraph and then click news, then you get a big pile of articles, and they're just negative, okay? So let's just go through them. Like, I can't look at them. The funny thing is I can read them on the computer, but I can't read them on my phone because it says they want me to subscribe for £49 a year. I'm not paying £49 a year. Look at the Telegraph. You're having a laugh. Right, so the first story is heads should roll over the electric car fiasco. And if you do happen to read through the article, you can see that it's all a bit... okay, and there was one bit in there. Well, actually, the next article down from that one is Ford loses $50,000 on every electric car. Now, they put in that as a negative, right? But it's not a negative towards electric cars. That is a negative towards Ford. Because how rubbish of a car company do you have to be to lose $50,000 on each EV you sell? You have to be incredibly rubbish. Because if Tesla makes a profit on every electric car they sell, how come Ford, who's been around for donkeys, been around for years, loses $50,000 on each car? Now, that number, $50,000, could be up for debate. I don't know how true that number is. It does sound a bit unbelievable to me that if you sell a car for $59,000, you lose $50,000 on it, right? But I'm just saying, the Telegraph write that story as if it's a negative on electric cars. No, it's a negative on Ford because they can't make electric cars profitable. They can't do it. Why can't they do it? I don't know. What's the next story? Porsche scraps electric car targets as demand slumps. And I've seen a lot of this going on where they've said that a lot of car manufacturers have eased back, and they have eased back because it's not so much of a slump. It was going up and up and up, and it's more like the hill has sort of gone a little bit less. So it's not like electric cars are selling less. It's just they've sort of gone, right, we're not selling as many as we thought we were going to sell. They're still selling them. So that's what that story's about. The next one down is Sadiq Khan to impose congestion charge on electric vehicles. Now, I've said this, and you can disagree with me if you want to, or you can agree with me, or have a different opinion in the comment section. Remember, go in the comment section if you disagree with me, or agree with me, or if you've got another idea. Now, I think that EV owners should have to pay the congestion charge because an electric car isn't invisible. It takes up space. It makes congestion. It's just the same as any other car. It causes congestion. So I think it's only fair. Now, Dave Takes It On did a fantastic video about Sadiq Khan and the congestion charge for electric cars, because he was saying that if you live in the congestion zone, I can't even say it, my teeth keep falling out. He was saying that if you live in the congestion zone, then you only pay you get 90% off, so you only pay 10%. And he's saying that the congestion charge is quite a small area as well. He goes into more detail. You know, Dave does go into great detail. He tells you he opens up every nook and cranny of a story and tells you every single part. So if you want to see about the congestion charge, go and look at Dave Takes It On, because he did take it on. The next story down. It goes on and on this list. It's all from the Telegraph, mind, right? How the big bet on electric car gigafactories went badly wrong. The next Telegraph story. The insanity of Labour's electric car plan is now too glaring to ignore. Ooh. Oh, no, look. I think this is a positive one. I think I found a positive one. But they probably put a negative spin on it. It says, Chinese electric cars to power your home in octopus deal. Can I actually see that story? Or am I stuck behind the thing? I can read this one. Chinese electric car makers, among brands, certain brands, no, there is try 3 months for free now. I don't want to try it for free. BYD trials transformational two-way charger amid plans to grow its UK presence. But it does say other brands are trying that as well. They try to drag you in with Chinese cars. The next story. A pragmatic rethink of Britain's electric vehicle switch is desperately needed. The next story. Women feel even more left behind how electric cars drove a gender divide. Another story. Electric car prices to fall further as car makers scramble for buyers. So, what do we take from this typing in the Telegraph electric cars in the news? Well, what you take from it is that they must be getting revenue somehow from doing these electric car stories. It must be a positive, it must be a win for them to run these electric car stories. So there must be something in it for them to run these stories, because it's negative after negative after negative. Now, the anti-EV person will tell you, they're just telling you the truth. There's no bias in that. Of course there's bias in it. It is, it's completely bias. So, if anybody knows why the Telegraph is running negative stories constantly, all the time, every time I open my tablet and have a look, there's the Telegraph, negative story about electric cars. I don't know, what do you think? Put it in the comment section, because I think it's a bit bizarre. I think it's very bizarre. Anyway, if you like this little bit of a, I suppose it was a bit of a rant about the Telegraph writing electric cars negative stories all the time, I always get a bit, because the thing is, like, let's take not Jeff, for instance, right? Let's take him, I'm not slagging him off, but let's just take him, for instance, right? He always does negative electric car stories, okay? Now, you could say that he's biased, and then I always do positive electric car stories. So you could say I'm biased, so there's no difference. But there is a difference, and the difference is that he's being negative, and negative isn't as nice as being positive. Positive is a better frame of mind. In my head it is anyway. Being negative isn't a good frame of mind. Being positive is a good frame of mind. So you could say I'm biased. I am biased. I think electric cars are fantastic. Okay? Jeff might think that, not Jeff, might think that electric cars are threatening his way of life because he likes to buy old cars. So I can see why he doesn't like electric cars, because he thinks that the government's going to take away his old cars and he enjoys old cars. But I don't think the government's going to take away old cars, personally. I think it'll still be a market. It might be a bit more difficult. Eventually it might be more difficult to get petrol in the very distant future. Look, I got onto a different rant now, haven't I? But my point is, I don't sit here being negative about ICE cars constantly. I don't drag up ICE cars specifically to make negative stories all the time. I try and be a bit more positive. I suppose you could call this story negative because I'm having a go at the Telegraph for being negative. But what am I trying to say? I don't know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, let's try and finish this video. Anyway, if you did like this video, comment below, like, subscribe, do all them nice things, or give it a dislike, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ahoy!